This is Brian Anderson, Coach Stan Van Gundy, and the Hall of Famer Grant Hill here with me at the table, and Allie LaForce reporting from the sidelines. Grant, when you talk about these two teams tonight, I think it's fair to expect a barrage of three-point shooting.
Oh, for sure, B.A. That's the usual game plan from both sides. It's going to be raining threes here tonight, and if they're falling, it's going to be a high-scoring affair.
They grab their own miss. Reed can't hit. And so it's Mobley with it. He brings it up for Miami. Here's Jamison. Back to Mobley. Pass to Wiggins. There's the three. Reed with the rebound. Here's Billups. Up top, Reed. To the paint. The layup misses. Robinson with it. There's the triple. Gets the three to fall.
Robinson not afraid to let it fly from deep. You got to get out on him.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Just moments ago, Eric Spoelstra and I were able to chat. We discussed Jaylen Brown and what makes him such a hard player to defend. And Coach said to me, Jaylen is a freak athlete and has become a really good shooter over time, too. We can't give him clean looks, and we have to guard him closely. Let's see if the defense is up to the task.
Thank you for that, Allie. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker has built a role around defense and activity, Coach.
Yeah, Brian, he's started to understand that not everyone can be that superstar scorer, and he's carved out a role around hustle, but still capable of knocking down shots within the flow of the offense.
Back to Alexander-Walker. 5 on the clock. There's a screen by Wiggins. Alexander-Walker with the bucket.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look.
McDaniels, that's good.
Well, look, you want to put your guys in a position to succeed. McDaniels is more comfortable operating off the catch than he is initiating.
Yep, that one goes.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Takes it inside. Mobley with the block.
Yeah, nice timing on the rejection. Mobley showing you how incredible defensively he can be.
It's McDaniels on the wing. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
He just saw an open lane and went on the attack.
Freight train coming. He goes right up with it. Minnesota with the ball. And here's Edwards outside. Jamison grabs the board. First quarter of play, and we're about 3 minutes in. Outside, Alexander-Walker drains the triple. Alexander-Walker's got his second basket of the night.
And making the extra pass. Wiggins' teammates appreciate his willingness to get it to them when they're uncovered.
Here's Billups. Looking at his production, close to 12 points a game.
Well, they desperately need him to get going offensively. He's got to refocus and just start taking better shots.
Oh, rejected by McDaniels. Fast break, Minnesota. Outside Edwards. 4-3. Can't hit it. He's 0 for 2 now. Miami leading by 3. Well, Coach, how about the Eric Spoelstra story? Started as a video coordinator with the Heat back in '95. You were an assistant in Miami back then.
Yeah, look, Brian, even then, Eric is one of the rare guys that all of us on the staff knew right from the beginning that he had all the makings of a great coach. Players trusted him and had confidence in his ability to help them.
A video room to the Hall of Fame one day.
No question.
We've got 1:13 left to play in the first quarter. Rebound Miami.
Come on, you can't be doing that. I know these guys want to put on a show, but you can't pass up scoring opportunities.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Right now averaging 5.5 a game. And Gobert with the stuff.
What a slam by Gobert. He's solid getting positioning inside and using it to his advantage. Here's
Mitchell. And out of bounds. Minnesota will have it.
I don't know what the heck happened there. That's just a careless turnover.
The Timberwolves trail. DiVincenzo on the wing. 26 seconds left in the first. Hits the trifecta. And so it's Mitchell who brings up the ball for the Miami Heat. Pass to Jamison. Now here's Mitchell. It'll count. Oh, no good on the last second attempt there. Well, a good close contest so far as we finish the first.
The Timberwolves, 12.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen from the Timberwolves?
Well, there's no reason to take risky shots when you can collect points at the rim.
Yeah, they've made a point to get inside on this defense, and it's been working like a charm early on.
Now here's Wagner. Drills the elbow jumper. Wagner's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, he's a 3-level scorer. That's what Wagner can do.
Grant, you look at the development path of Franz Wagner, not surprising he had an easier transition to the NBA.
But think about this, B.A. I mean, he played against men very early in Germany, splitting time in Euroball, and at Michigan let him really develop in multiple ways. So he's seen it all and is still so young.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity. That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents." Brian, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks. Pass to Brown. Here's Billups. He's got 5. Down low. Just 4 to shoot. The Timberwolves need to get off a shot here. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Now into the lineup for the Timberwolves. 0. Dante DiVincenzo.
Mitchell deciding where to go with it. Pass to Wagner. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Wagner's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, Wagner uses his size to muscle through that smothering interior defense.
For 3, DiVincenzo.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Jaquez no good. Minnesota in the lead. And here's Edwards outside. Edwards on target.
Well, you have to be careful with Edwards on the arc because he is completely fearless.
And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
And it's good. 2 points.
Just a ferocious play by Edwards, taking the contact but staying committed to his finish.
Wagner outside. Pass to Jaquez. Wagner with a screen. Jaquez no good.
The defense does just enough to alter that shot.
And an intentional foul right there.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
So both teams making some changes here. They double him with Mobley. Gobert. And Gobert with the stuff.
And they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Look out below. You got no chance of defending him right there. Out to DiVincenzo. Gets another look. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
And wow, I mean, Gobert had them fooled. The pump fake puts the defender totally off balance.
That free throw misses. Defensive Player of the Year 4 times over, Stan. Rudy Gobert tied for the record.
Yeah, Brian, alongside Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace, and Gobert's capable of getting another one too, assuming his countryman Victor Wembanyama doesn't start taking the reins. Well, you know, every team is looking for a defensive anchor. Gobert fills that role to perfection.
Mobley, no good. Minnesota leading by 7. Takes the 3. Here's Gobert. Oh, the tower with the power move.
And you gotta box out Gobert or he will make you pay on the offensive glass.
Back to Alexander Walker. Mobley on a screen. Inside. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. And here we go, the Timberwolves on the run.
Yeah, nice read by Gobert. When he's providing an assist, that is a big bonus.
And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page.
For your Heat, Lakers and Crew. Let's go!
There's 47 seconds left to play in the second quarter.
Get there.
Wiggins outside. Back to Alexander Walker. Three-pointer, no good.
And you have to think that they're leading this game because of how they've controlled the boards tonight.
Minnesota shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. The first free throw is good. And Grant, the Heat, last season retiring Udonis Haslem's number 40.
Yeah, he played his entire 2-decade career in his hometown of Miami. And for all of his contributions on the court, what he meant to this organization off the floor was just as important.
The Timberwolves lead by 13. Now Edwards. He's got 5. Rises up and powers it down.
Well, you know, it's already tough to play like this at home, but it's even tougher to do so on the road.
It sure is. They've certainly accepted the challenge. The trick now is to sustain this effort.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, now holding a 12-point lead at quarter's end. They've had incredible success defensively, taking away good looks and pressuring shooters. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Heat trail by 12. Alexander Walker with it. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
Outside McDaniels. Pass to Gobert. The kick out to Edwards. Nails it from beyond the arc. Edwards has got 10 points in the game.
Well, I'd say any play with Edwards on the finishing end has a good chance of succeeding.
Now here's Mobley. As far as his production, he's averaging about 8 points per game. The 3 is up. The offensive rebound. Outside, Alexander Walker. 6 to shoot. Back to Robinson. Deflects the pass. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Brian, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. Pass to McDaniels. 17-foot shot on the way. Counted. He has 7. And Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
Gobert with the double. Now here's Mobley, defended by Gobert. It's a one-on-one situation. Here's Brown. And that one good. And the Timberwolves lead by 16.
They've got the offense clicking. 3 for 4 to start the half and looking confident.
And so it's Erik Spoelstra with the timeout here. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. The Heat on offense. That kicks off a 5-game road trip for the club. Here's Jaquez. That one falls. Nice setup by Mitchell.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And you think about what Jaquez has done early in his career. It's pretty impressive, Stan.
Well, Brian, people tend to underrate college players who play multiple years. He was basically a finished product before he reached the NBA.
DiVincenzo with the steal. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Pass to Gobert. From down in the low post, it goes. Gobert's got 9 points.
They are shooting the lights out and doing a good job of maintaining this lead.
And Erik Spoelstra decides to call timeout. I think right now he must be looking at some adjustments. He trailed by 17. Outside Mitchell. Back to Wiggins. Pass to Robinson. Outside Jaquez. Now Robinson. 6 on the shot clock. The 3 is up. And it's Gobert with a rebound.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Here's Edwards. Rebound Miami.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
A quick shot there. It's off target.
Well, and even though he couldn't get that one to fall, that's a shot they want him taking.
Here's Billups. Hey, shooting the ball well. He's 5 for 9 in the game.
There's a touch of artistry to the floater. Takes feel as much as skill.
And so it's Erik Spoelstra with the timeout here. He wants to review the game plan. And here are the Heat now. 19-point game. Out of bounds. It'll be Timberwolves ball.
Well, look, plays like that are exactly why they find themselves in such a deep hole.
And here's Minnesota now. They'll face the Jazz after this game. That'll be at home. And that's the first of just 2 home games for them.
Watch outside.
Minnesota shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
First team foul.
And he drops the first.
At the line for the Timberwolves, Chauncey Billups.
So he gets them both. Heat trailed by 21. The ball's knocked loose. And now the T-Wolves on the break. McDaniels from long range. Mobley grabs the board. Outside Jaquez. Pass to Alexander Walker. They set a pick. Back to Jaquez. Will it go? Fires, hitting the triple. Jaquez has got 6 points.
Well, Jaquez doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he can hit those when he's feeling it.
Outside McDaniels. Now Edwards. Here's Billups. He's got 13. Can't cash it in from close range. Just 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Wiggins from long range. It's not going to go for him. The Timberwolves lead by 18. Outside McDaniels. And so the ball out of bounds. Jaquez touched it last.
Timberwolves substitution. 0.
A three from the inbound. Drills it from deep. DiVincenzo's gotten his second bucket.
DiVincenzo.
Wiggins from long range. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so it's Minnesota. They're feeling great.
The Timberwolves, 49.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Here's DiVincenzo. And we haven't seen a new franchise join the NBA stand since the Charlotte Bobcats in 2003. 20 years later, though, things seem to be percolating a bit.
Well, you've seen it, Brian. There's some deep pockets out there and some great markets all vying to get into the action. And we know that the NBA is all about growth.
Here's Edwards. Going inside. Mobley grabs the board. Heat trail by 21. Pass to Wagner. Fires the three. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. And here's Edwards. Outside. DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. Outside Reed. Takes a three. Can't hit that one. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul. Now in the game.
And Miami has possession. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong. No baskets allowed. And Donte DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
And just wasn't able to set up in time.
Team foul. Timberwolves substitution.
Wagner outside.
Rudy Gobert.
Pass to Robinson. Just 5 on the clock. The Heat need to get one up in a hurry. Miami, no good that time either. And it's Edwards with the ball for Minnesota. Gobert with it. Back to Daniels. Wide open. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Takes a lot of control to hit that mid-ranger, and McDaniels has it.
Pass to Jamison. The three ball. Rudy Gobert with a rebound.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
He's just an aggressive finisher there inside.
Hey, when you got bounce like that, you feel like you can take on anybody. And there's the drive. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
And it hasn't just been their stellar offense. Their defense has been effective as well.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Well, Edwards is so strong. He'll complete the play unless you wrap him up.
Grant, when it comes to Anthony Edwards, fair to say he's meeting expectations so far.
Oh, no question, B.A. The first overall pick in the 2020 draft, Edwards has been anything but a bust. Now we are seeing him trying to compete for titles.
Brown, the second chance points on the tip in. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Well, all you can ask for is your guys to be really active on D, and they've been more than that tonight.
Yeah, all throughout the game, the opposition hasn't been able to keep them off the glass, and they're paying for it, giving up second chance points.
Well, you love the unselfishness, makes the next pass, and enables his team to capitalize on the possession.
To the inside, Jamison. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in.
Yeah, Wagner has the ability to spot these openings and moves the ball whenever he can.
That one goes in.
Here in the second half, they've just found better shots.
Yeah, they've looked really in sync after the break. Getting the shots they want and converting them.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Timberwolves.
And the disparity in the talent would... Oh, a highlight! What a slam!
Oh, my.
Put that one-man show on Broadway.
That's one way to go with the alley-oop. 59 seconds left to play in the fourth. For three, Robinson. It's blocked by Gobert.
So good at finding these rejections. Gobert has all the physical tools and razor-sharp reflexes as a defender.
Wagner outside. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth. Out of bounds, it'll go to the Timberwolves.
Now into the lineup for the Timberwolves, Terrence Shannon. Chauncey.
There's 31 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Puts up a deep three. The rebound by Wiggins.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Here's Jamison. So we see the Timberwolves